Simulacre is the debut full-length album from Quebec-based death metal quartet DÉCRYPTAL. This is a band formed between members of Outre-Tombe, Saco, and Sedimentum, among other bands. Generally, their style covers what a lot of bands have been doing for a while beyond Disma in terms of connecting classic United States death metal with the atmosphere of Finnish death metal and finding the points where that brutality makes sense in each case. This is not a brutal death metal band, of course, but it's not exactly a atmospheric death metal band either. The focus of this record does touch upon incantation and immolation-esque points. There is a certain technical touch to it. Also, the band have their own approach to the authenticity available to the mid-90s. And so this isn't necessarily pure old school death metal, but it really, that is the main focus here in terms of describing what they do and how that's developed since their debut. I think the big thing to say about Sabazio's Cult was that was almost an unfinished thought. A lot of those songs kind of faded out. It was not as complete as this album kind of puts the songs together. We'll talk about a bit more in that second, but first we'll listen to a clip and get a sense for what this record sounds like and go from there. The main thing that most newer old school style death metal bands really accomplish anymore with these types of albums is showing off some of their taste and an ideal rooted in death metal that matches up with their skill level. And these folks are obviously very skilled at what they do, and they put together a solid, completely thought out album which is full of solid songs. While this isn't the most buttoned up or perfectionist death metal you'll hear all year, it is set to a pretty high standard. And when I'm mentioning bands from like Tumult to Demolict to Crucimentum, we get a sense that there's something new and old about this record. There are grooves here. There are some simpler riffs. It does fit into some of the current zeitgeist of death metal, but there's a very classic notion here in terms of what these guys are getting up to. The thing was that this is a type of album where there's no real conversation to form around it. It's just a good death metal album. There's no real theme to really dig into too much. I don't have the lyrics, so that there's not much to really talk about here. It's got riffs, if that helps. I do mention records like Unholy Cult and Adromalic on the in this review, but really I'm just saying that this meets a certain standard, and the flow of the listening experience is really the strength of it. Going from riff to riff, song to song, they show a lot of variety and skill, and it creates the right vibe, the kind of death metal that I like to hang out with and listen to on the weekend and just chill out with. I mean, in that sense, it is subgenre music. It's something that's familiar. It's a new variation in their own hands, and it's done really well. So I had a strong connection with this release, but I find that it's above average in every way. It's just not something that I think will inspire a ton of conversation in terms of getting a ton of people to talk about it and remember it as much as something that stands out a little bit more. I think this is probably better done than a lot of music in this style these days. I think it's up to a fine standard, and it's one that I'll return to because it's a specific type of death metal that I enjoy. Definitely go and see what stands out here for you. See if maybe the lyrics stand out in mind a little bit more because your French is more fresh than mine is, or just I think for me this is just a pretty above average record. It just kind of slides right in at an 8 out of 10 for me. Go ahead and check that out for yourself, see what you think, and read my written review on the website for more of my thoughts.